Hi, welcome back. We will now proceed towards on navigation item selected. Here also similar pattern of code is there. We get an ID for item.get item ID, and then here again we will use a fragment. It's a good practice to point it to a null because otherwise you sometimes might get a exception. ID is given. So as we decided, we are not going to change the IDs. Instead, we will only change the whatever is relevant to us to understand the functioning. Blank fragment. Two, three, four, and we can leave it like this only. I need to now introduce the fragment transaction in manager here. So what I'll do is I'll go up, copy paste the same thing. Sorry, I'll have to do this before the return statement. And this is also done. So just to revise and look at everything again, let's do that. We created a navigation drawer activity. We started by working on our activity main, which looked like this. Sorry, not activity main. We started working on our content main. We just made a frame layout there, named it, gave it an ID of fragment place. Then we created 4 fragments which contained each one of them containing image view and text view. This will contain the image of the place travel to and the description or name or title, caption, whatever you want to call it. Then there were 3 more fragments like that. And finally, we also worked on navigation header, basically the top header which shows up after you click on the hamburger icon. How does that look? After that, we worked on the main menu, which is the menu which comes up once you click on those 3 dots at the top right corner. And we also discussed how we can make sure that this always appears and these 3 don't appear. After that, we worked on a little bit on the navigation drawer items because we needed to change the titles of those. And finally, looking back at main activity, we revisited, we just made some changes in this part of the code. We just had to change the fragment. We had to introduce the fragments here. We informed the system that if the user clicks on the first button, then the first blank fragment has to replace, and then blank fragment 2, 3, 4. We did some transactions with fragments here, committed it, and this one was for navigation drawer. A very similar action happening here also. Now let's see, all coding is done. Let's see how does this app look when we run it on our emulator. So I ran this application on my emulator and seems to be working fine. Yeah, all the buttons are responding. My last trip, this button is also responding, and menu is also working fine. So as we discussed, this is all fragment that is doing the action, and you can replace these fragments, these images or these text views with something else also. So let's say you want to put some buttons here, you can put buttons also. The idea was to just give you an impression of what all navigation drawer can do for you, and at any point in time, these hamburger menu buttons are very handy because most of the times it is seen that users of the app, they really want to have a button which takes them to wherever they want to go in the app, right? So this is it. We will meet in our next session to discuss broadcast receivers. Till then, goodbye. See you.